So, deep down, you might be noticing a little shift in yourself. Maybe you've noticed the way that you react to your patients or friends or clients or family members is just a little different from before. Maybe it's a little edgier. Maybe it's a little less empathetic. Maybe it's a little shorter. Or maybe it's just a little unlike your usual reaction. And I know that you're briefly clicking in that something is changing, something is different. And I know that you're maybe also putting that little observation in a little box in the corner of your mind, telling yourself, it's fine, or it's just a brief moment, it's just a busy time of year. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter. I'll deal with this box another day when you have more energy, when things aren't as hectic, when things settle down. The thing is, what if you just dealt with that little box right now? What if instead of pushing that little box away, we opened it? In fact, even pretend it's a gift, because I'll let you know a little secret. It is a gift. And when you bolster the courage to confront what you're ignoring, what you've been putting off, what you're scared of, whatever, then I promise you, all of a sudden, things are going to shift. And here's the thing. I've realized that all the things we've ever wanted are sitting right behind our fear. And you might be thinking, oh, that little voice isn't like fear. I'm not actually scared of the little box. I'm not actually scared of confronting those thoughts. I'm going to beg to differ. Or else you would have sat and examined them in that moment and been like, okay, what is this trying to tell me? Where is it I want to go? And how can I do that? Because there is definitely a part of you that is scared to recognize that little voice, and that's okay. Because that has maybe been keeping you safe until this moment. But I feel like if you've come across this, then you are ready to examine it. You are safe enough to examine it. And when it's something that is stopping us from loving our life and loving our job, it's ready to be examined. So my suggestion for you today is when you notice that tension, that little thought, feel that shift in you that you don't quite want to acknowledge, write it down. Write it in your journal, on your phone, in your planner, wherever. And then perhaps you just acknowledge it's there. And then comes the work of addressing it. And maybe you need support to address that, and that's completely okay. But I want to share the story about a friend of mine who was having a moment in her life where she realized she wasn't quite having the forward momentum that she usually had. And she came to realize that she was maybe being stuck in this current phase, this current moment, because she wasn't exactly acknowledging something that she was ready to acknowledge. She wasn't facing this fear that she was ready to face. And with support from those who loved her, she, as well as just her own internal amazing courage, she faced that fear. And within 12 hours of doing so, she had 6 job offers and 1 new potential relationship. It was wild. She was shocked. We were not as shocked. We were so happy that this was happening and knew that this is maybe what she needed to do to be able to move forward. And it was so beautiful to witness. And that is what I am hoping to offer folks in Flourish, is that safe, supportive space for you to feel like, okay, actually I am ready. I do have the courage to examine what is making me feel like I don't love my life, that I'm not moving forward, that my work isn't filling me up again. What is that, and how can we move down that path so that we are feeling fulfilled, we are loving things again? And so, if that's something that interests you and you're a healthcare helping professional, please check out Flourish. It's a small, supportive community where we weave evidence based holistic well being with trauma informed care, with peer support. And we do this in a way that is not overloading your schedule. I open Flourish a couple times a year, depending when you're seeing this. I have a cohort starting February 18th, and I'd really love to see you there. Reach out if you're not sure if it's a fit, because maybe it won't be, and I'm happy to talk you through that. But for now, I just invite you, if you like, to write down those little thoughts, acknowledge them, and then find the support to help you work through them.